Alright, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be talking about the Golden State Warriors. They have been playing some amazing basketball for the past month since the Jimmy Butler trade. We're going to talk how much this season has changed for the Warriors with this one move here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on other videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications to all like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, getting closer and closer as the days go on. So hitting that subscribe button, like button, and doing all that, we really much appreciate it. Links to my Twitter and all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So the Golden State Warriors, they have been playing some really, really good basketball for the past month-ish, since the Jimmy Butler trade. Before the Jimmy Butler trade, we all know the Warriors are kind of in this weird limbo where you had Steph Curry and you had a bunch of other players, but it just wasn't really clicking. They were, after having a really good first 2 weeks of the season, they started to fall, kind of teetering around 500, being a 9-10 seed, just kind of being in this weird limbo, weird wondering, are they going to make any big moves? Are they going to make a big trade? They're going to have to make a big trade, but are they actually going to do it? Or are they just going to ride out with Steph Curry and a bunch of these just random role players and just hope that a hot streak happens? What's going to happen with this Warriors team? Then they make the move to acquire Jimmy Butler, who was frustrated and had a whole situation with the Miami Heat. They ended up signing Jimmy and giving him a 2-year extension as well. And we're all wondering, how is this going to fit? And so far, first returns have been absolutely incredible with Jimmy and the Warriors. Since Jimmy Butler has become a Warrior, since February 8th, I'm gonna read off some of the numbers that, showing you how good this Warriors team has been since the trade. Since February 8th, the first game that Jimmy Butler played as a Warrior, they are 13-2, which is the second best record in the NBA throughout that span, only behind the Cavaliers, who have not lost a game since then. But 13-2, and really 13-1 with Jimmy Butler. The other game they lost, Jimmy Butler didn't play. So really 13-1 with Jimmy, but 13-2 overall in this span. And some of their numbers, they have the third best offense and third best defense, while being second in net rating. So they're been elite on all sides of the ball. They're sixth in points per game, fifth in 3-pointers made, ninth in 3-point percentage. So they're scoring, they're hitting threes. The biggest adjustment, first in free throws made, fourth in free throw attempts, and first in free throw percentage. They went from notably being one of the teams that was the worst free throw shooting team that did not get to the line a whole lot, and now they're one of the top free throw shooting teams in the NBA, maybe the top free throw shooting team in the NBA. First in free throws made and free throw percentage in this span, with Jimmy Butler helping out a lot. They're first in assists, first in steals, first in points off turnovers, fifth in second chance points, fifth in opponent second chance points, fourth in opponent points in the paint, fourth in opponent field goals made, fourth in opponent field goal attempts, fifth in opponent 3-point attempts, second in opponent defensive rebounds, third in opponent rebounds, third in opponent assists, first in opponent turnovers, fifth in opponent points per game. So offensively and defensively, they have been locked in. They've been playing some incredible ball. And yeah, looking at some of these games that they've won here. First game they beat Chicago. They beat teams like Milwaukee, Houston, Sacramento a couple times. They had a good win against the Knicks in New York. Beat the Pistons, the Blazers. It hasn't been the most insane schedule. They have one of the easier schedules left in the Western Conference for the rest of the season, but they've still been looking better. I mean, before this, they were in close games with the Jazz and losing to the Jazz, losing to the Suns, losing to the Raptor. Like, they're losing some bad games, and now they're cleaning that up. They're winning all the games they're supposed to win, and even winning some other games that you're like, dang, it's really impressive. They've just been dominating, really. It just looks like a completely new Warriors team. And Jimmy Butler obviously is going to get the main amount of credit, which he does, because Jimmy has been really good. Since coming to the Golden State, he's averaging 16, 5, and 5 with a steal on 45% shooting, 88% from the free throw line, while taking 7 free throw attempts per game. The three-point shot has not been there yet. He's only shooting 20% from 3. But also, we know with Jimmy Butler, we're not relying on him to hit 5, 6 threes in a game. And Jimmy Butler just does so much for this Warriors team, because on the offensive end, he's a guy they have not had in a very long while. That he's consistently going to put pressure on the rim. You can give it to him in the post. You can give it to him in a little mid-range area, face-up area. And he can either get to the bucket. He could draw fouls. He can play make out of that position. Like, just having another guy that, one, can handle the ball, and be a threat to score outside of Steph Curry. That was really one of the big problems is that teams are just saying, let's just guard Steph and let everyone else do whatever they want. Because we know if Steph doesn't go off, they're probably not going to win this game. Now you have another guy that could take pressure off Steph and just be someone that you trust with the ball, someone that can go out and get you 20 to 25 to 30 points per game, when he needs to. Like just having that trust and having a guy that, again, is such a different type of player from everyone else on their team that it really makes everything better because again, the Warriors were not a team that would put pressure on the rim. They're not a team that are scared about the drive. All the other role players around are just going to be catch and shoot guys or whatever. Like, you don't really trust them with their drive or getting to the bucket or going and get their own bucket. Jimmy Butler can do that very, very well. That's what he's done his entire career. So now you bring in a guy that can do that consistently. It just opens up so many more things, not only for himself, but for everybody else as well. Because it feels like not only Jimmy has been really good, and also Jimmy provides a lot in the defensive end. You know how much he can lock in the defensive end, and they've been one of the best defenses in the league, forcing turnovers, number one in opponent turnovers per game, meaning, they're forcing turnovers, getting out and running and scoring easy points. But also Jimmy Butler doing this just opens up so many things for anything else, for everyone else, including Steph Curry. Steph Curry, he was having kind of like he was still an all-star level player, but he just wasn't as elite as a Steph Curry as we saw before Jimmy Butler came. Since Jimmy Butler's come over in this little stretch, he's averaging almost 29 points per game, 6 assists, shooting 49, 42, 92 shooting splits. He has been incredible. He had a 40-point game, the 56-point game against Orlando, a game in New York. The game in New York, I think he had many big shots. Like, he just looks rejuvenated. He looks like the Steph Curry that we're used to seeing. He just hit 4,000, his 4,003 last night. Shout out to Steph, the greatest shooter alive, or ever, really. But yeah, Steph just looks a lot more, like rejuvenated and has that look and smile on his face again. They're like, oh yeah, here comes Steph. Draymond has still been doing Draymond things. Even some of the role players, I feel like I've been a lot better. Brandon Bajemski had an amazing rookie year last year. The start of this year was very was bad. He was not good to start this season, and a lot of question marks at what's gonna happen. And so far, since Jimmy's come over to town, also he's been getting healthier, and he's been better. But so far, Brandon Bajemski looks a lot better. He's had some big games, rebounding nights, scoring nights. He looks a lot more like the rookie Brandon Bajemski we're used to seeing. Moses Moody. That's not only a Jimmy Butler thing, but that's a Steve Kerr thing too. Steve Kerr finally giving Moses Moody the opportunity. Moses Moody has been a starter as of recently in this stretch, and so far he's playing the best basketball of his career. Since becoming a starter, Moses Moody in 12 games is averaging 12 and 3 on 49% shooting, 43% shooting from 3. He looks more confident. He's knocking down shots. He's putting the ball on the floor. He's playing some good defense. And Steve Kerr finally gave Moses Moody an opportunity. So now we can finally see the Moses Moody that we thought we could have got for the past couple years. Now we're actually seeing it, and he's playing. Even a guy like Quinn Post, he was like, the 52nd overall pick in this draft out of Boston College. No one even knew who he really was. And as of recently, he's been having to get minutes and playing, and he looks like he might even be taking the starting center job. He's taking minutes away from Kevon Looney and Trayce Jackson-Davis because Quinn Post just fits kind of the structure. He fits the system of this team, being a big man that can stretch the floor, has energy, can rebound, can just play in the offense with this team. And he has looked very, very good since coming to this team. So Quinn Post has been really, really good. Even Gary Payton the last couple games has been good. He just had a career 26 against Portland. Keith Santos has just been kind of like an energy reserve on this team. He comes into the game, he just brings a lot of fight, a lot of heart, a lot of energy, a lot of hustle plays, which is what the Warriors really need. And he's been playing very good recently. And then you have Jonathan Kuminga, who just came back last night. He had a pretty solid game. Very interested to see how Kuminga fits now in this new system with Jimmy. Jimmy being another guy that likes to, be in the paint, be in the mid-range, all that stuff. Kuminga does that too. So we'll see how Kuminga really fits into this team and how he, really adjusts to this. But right now, the Warriors, they're just clicking. They're clicking right now on all cylinders. Offensively, defensively, winning games, close games, just everything is clicking right now. And this is just a whole new look Warriors team. This is a rejuvenated Warriors team. This is a team that honestly should kind of be, I don't want to say feared, but you got to watch out. You have to watch out for this Warriors team, man. I mean, right now they've escaped the play-in. They're 6th right now in the Western Conference. I'm trying to stay in that top 6. And, it's going to be tough to slow them down, especially when they have momentum going like this. And when it comes to playoff time, they might not be a favorite in terms of making it to the conference finals, making it to the finals, or whatever. But this is definitely going to be a very, very tough out. When you have Steph Curry, you have the defense that they have, you have a Jimmy Butler, another guy that's very notable for being a one of the most elite playoff risers we've ever seen. Like a team that has a lot of experience in these type of situations with Steph and Draymond, Steve Kerr, and even Jimmy have been in these situations before. Like this is not a team you want to face in the first round. Like if you're a top 3 seed in the West and you got to play the Warriors in the first round, like that's tough. That's very tough. Imagine you get the 3 seed, you have to end up playing like a Denver team or a Laker team, or even like the Grizzlies or something. Gonna have to face the Warriors in the first round. Like that's a very tough matchup for a first round series. And it is the West. The West has a lot of tough. I mean, even the 7 or 8 seeds in the West could do some damage and be some crazy things. 'Cause the Western Conference is just at a crazy level. But the Warriors are one of those teams where you see them on the schedule, and if you have to play them in a series, I don't know, man. It's going to be very, very tough. It's going to be very, very tough. And I'm just so excited that we finally got this Warriors team kind of back. I was very kind of disappointed with this Warriors early because I was like, dang, like, is this how we're going to see Steph Curry go out? Could Steph Curry go out on a mid playing 9, 10 seed team? He's going to have to score 30 every night just to keep them competitive in the game. Like, Steph shouldn't have to be carrying all this workload at age, what, 35, 36? Like, he shouldn't have to be doing that. And now he doesn't. Now you have Jimmy. Now you have this really, really good team that are playing really good right now. And I just can't wait to see more of it and can't wait to see how this translates into the postseason. But yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, doing all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it a whole lot. Once again, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so all the support on the channel will be very much appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.